Hello, my name's Anna Wiley. I'm UK Digital Engineering Manager for Perry, and I'm going to talk today on real-world impact with BIM. So just a little bit of background about myself. I am a chartered civil engineer with the Institute of Civil Engineering, and I've worked in the industry for around 10 years. The central image here is a picture of Oxford Westgate, where I worked as an engineer for Lang O'Rourke. One of the most challenging and interesting but rewarding projects that I've ever worked on. I've worked in a range of digital and technical roles over that time, and recently joined Perry to focus on digital and digital engineering. When I'm not working, and when we're unfortunately not in lockdown, I do a lot of climbing and mountaineering and get out in the wild as much as I can, although not as much as I would like to at the moment. Perry are a formwork, scaffolding and engineering services provider. So we are a design and supply company focusing on specialist products, which puts us in a very interesting position when it comes to digital and BIM. My role as digital engineering manager is to develop a digital strategy for the UK, which meets the challenges that we have currently within our business, works with our customers, and also looks at the future of what challenges we're going to face within the industry. Perry has a really focused and extensive product portfolio. So we have component solutions for wall formwork, slab formwork, all the way through to working scaffolds, climbing systems, and we also provide a range of services, which is where my team, digital engineering, comes in. Some of the projects that we've worked on, to give you an idea of the scope of what we would typically do. The V&A Museum in Dundee is an incredibly complicated architectural facade. Infrastructure projects such as the Mersey Gateway, and building high-rise projects such as South Quay Plaza in London. So that gives you an idea of what Perry do, and where you may have seen some of our lovely red and yellow formwork out in the wild. So what I'm going to go through today is some of the opportunities and challenges that we have as a design supplier, some of the real-world value that we get out of working digitally with BIM, and then finally a few digital case studies of things that have worked particularly well for us and things that we would like to see more of in the industry. So starting with opportunities and challenges. Perry sees the opportunity of digital. It's a core part of the Perry 2025 strategy, but it's not just about changing to making things in 3D or having a digital way of doing something. What we focus on is actually digitalization. Digitalization has a much broader definition. It's more about changing the way that you go to work than just implementing a simple digital solution to something which is currently a little bit more outdated. So some of the definitions that I've pulled up here. Things like the use of digital technology to change a business model, provide new revenue and value producing opportunity. A great example of this would be the transition that Disney has made from a sort of provider of video content to an online platform with Disney Plus, bringing in new revenue. The other one is reorganization of work methods to obtain benefits of new technologies. A great example here would be within the banking sector, where many of us now interact with our bank wholly over a simple app or online login, and their setup is completely changed to meet the new customer demand of being mobile and being able to access information at any time. Finally, leveraging digitalization throughout a business. This is your more traditional thought around digital and digitalization, which is where you can make savings or improve effectiveness and organization within your business. At Perry, we've broken this down into two key areas to assist in strategy development. The first is to engage customers and leverage the benefits of digital technologies working externally. And the second is to innovate and develop digital solutions. So these can both be for our internal teams, but also for our customers. We do this across the project lifecycle. We have a distinct challenge working as a specialist, so we take great care to map out each construction stage, working from initial plans all the way through to model development, analytics, ordering materials, delivery of a project, and then final project completion. We support customers at all of these different stages, which is a huge challenge for us because we typically are a supplier. If we don't get involved early enough, so we don't get involved in planning stages, we miss out on a few key things that we really believe make digital construction solutions work. So we have a huge challenge with not getting hold of information early, not being involved in collaborative efforts, and then when we come to things like model development, we're always playing catch up. We can then do some really advanced work to do with data embedment, integrating different systems, building interoperability, creating enhanced visualizations. We have a full immersive technology suite, and then looking at material and asset management. But the challenge is that we never get there because we aren't involved early enough as a supplier. There's a huge range of things that Perry can do if we are involved early enough. So we have a range of online applications. We can carry out 3D scanning. We have a full BIM solution, immersive technology, mobile applications, sensor technology, 3D printing, and even down to investing in scaled robotics. We really see many of these solutions as the future of the industry with huge opportunity. But we are facing the challenge of not being involved early enough in many conversations and having to be really critical about where we invest time and energy in order to try and build good partnerships and the best solutions for our customers. Typically, we are only involved in far later stages, so all the information and collaboration decisions are made by clients, main contractors, designers. Then there are secondary contractors typically, although sometimes we do work directly with main contractors. And finally, you get to where we sit as suppliers, manufacturers, and specialists. So what we really need to change about the industry is to get a championing of BIM and digital from the very top to the very bottom of the industry. It's not just good enough for us to have clients or main contractors who are interested. We also have the challenge of having to work with secondary contractors to build a use case and build a value case for working with BIM. So what we've done is we've made sure that our strategy is really focused on our customers, whether they're tier 1 or tier 2. Perry UK are committed to providing digital engineering services to support our customers' digital aspirations. The way that we've done this is in order to push the focus onto our customers. We can do huge amounts internally, but what we really need to do is make sure that our customers are the ones that we're focused on so that we are actually getting value. We need to be involved early in temporary works design, and then we can do some really wonderful things with model development, data embedment, visualization, and so on. So those are some of the opportunities and challenges, and then we can start to talk about the real world value of BIM. When we talk about value, what we're really talking about is what do individual people value. People are the key to how we can embed digital and convince them that working with BIM and digital is a way to move forwards. So we really need to convince that there is real value. They're not just gimmicks or add-ons, and we need to build a detailed and convincing case for change. That the only way that we can go to work is with BIM and digital. So the first part of that is challenging the rhetoric. So BIM isn't relevant to our business. It's too expensive. It's just a waste of time, and the old ways still work best. And what we need to do is we need to understand where these rhetorics are coming from. So we're looking at things like, is there a skills gap, which is making this move to digital too much effort and too challenging for some individuals? Is it genuinely too expensive? Do we need to look at whether we find free or simple solutions for people to use in order to get them working with BIM? And where we are investing lots of time, because we sometimes do need to put a huge amount of time and effort to get things up and running, we need to be able to show return on investment for that time. So we can't just start down a path freely and wildly and hope for the best. We have to really be focused in the way that we're approaching things. On the other side of the coin, I also want to challenge the positive rhetoric. So when we're faced with negative rhetoric, we can build a case for why we should be investing and how much we're going to get return on investment. What we're also trying to do as a material supplier is to challenge the positive push for doing BIM, doing digital just because. So we've heard things like, we do BIM because it is the right thing to do. It's the future. Why wouldn't you? And we have to be very clear is that if there is no value to investing in a digital solution, then we won't do it. We have a very good established way of going to work, produce very detailed specialist designs. And if we are not working in a digital way, so we are not sharing 3D models, we aren't involved in the collaboration process, as long as that is not negatively impacting the project and it's not going to add value to do so, it's perfectly acceptable to make the decision not to invest in a digital solution. And we need to be very careful about where we're investing, because if we push for a digital solution which doesn't add value, we're going to lose interest and people are going to become disengaged with the digital transition. So we have two very clear investment profiles that we follow. So investment profile 1, this is worth doing because it provides an internal improvement. So we have made the decision to invest in something because it will save us time, it will make us more collaborative, it will ensure that we can deliver a high quality product. This analysis is something that I think everybody should do as part of their initiatives and projects. If you're running a project and you think it's going to take you 6 months of, I don't know, how many hours, and in the end you're going to save everyone in your design team 5 minutes a day, then you need to monetize those 5 minutes and say, if I save them 5 minutes, it's going to save us a certain amount of money over a year. That amount of money, I'm only willing to put 2 months effort into it. So if I can deliver this project in 2 months, it's worth the effort. If it takes me 6 months to a year to implement this project, and I'm only going to save 5 minutes, maybe I need to challenge myself to look at a wider scope. Maybe I need to find a cheaper way of doing it. Maybe I need to do something more efficiently. And we go through this challenge process with all of the initiatives that we run at Perry. The investment profile 2, it is worth doing because it is valuable to our customers. And when we say it's valuable to our customers, what we mean is our customers are willing to pay for this service, or our customers will save money because we have delivered this for them. We're not saying that it's something that our customers would like, or it's something that our customers like the idea of. What we're really saying is that if we introduce this piece of software, say for enhanced clash detection and rule-based checking of models, that by doing that, our customers will be willing to pay for our time to check models, because they know they're going to get a quality saving on site. Or customers have a commitment to the local area to provide visualizations throughout the project. So we'll provide fully rendered visualizations of how a project will progress, because it's a commitment that we're supporting for our customer. That's why we're focused on digital aspirations. If a customer says, yes, we would like this, but we aren't willing to pay for it, it's not something that we value that highly, then we really do need to make a decision whether we apply digital to that project, or whether we do work traditionally, provide fully detailed design and materials. Because if our customers are not willing to pay for this work, then is it really valuable? So that's our second investment profile. When looking at investment and transformation, I really like this quote, which I found when I was doing my research for this talk, which says, when digital transformation is done right, it is like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. When it is done wrong, all you have is a really fast caterpillar. And that's what we're trying to challenge when we're looking at investment and the real value of BIM. So if we were to work with the customer and develop a new way of going to work that meant every single time we issued a design, we were able to save half a day administration time of sharing PDFs on email, then yes, we have improved the process and we've made it much, much faster. If we can say, actually, we're going to have a transformation approach where we as Perry, who are a supplier, who are typically involved maybe weeks before a project goes to site, are involved far, far earlier, what we can do is we can actually start to give feedback on how the project should develop, how the formwork could be used to make time savings, how we could apply digital tools such as development of 3D models or inclusion of digital sensors to save time on site and improve the efficiency. And that's really the digital transformation that we'd be looking for, where you get a real value out of BIM and digital. So finally, I'll just look at a couple of digital case studies of real world examples where we have done this investment time process review. So some of the tools that we use at Perry that have saved us time and made us more effective. The first one is Perry QuickSolve, which is an online application. So this is a free application which we have created based on our expertise. You can go online. I can share the details for anyone who's interested. And you can draw a simple 2D wall, foundation, whatever it is that you are building as our customer. And then our system will automatically create a formwork solution in 3D and then create a fully detailed parts list in order for you to have access to 2D information, 3D information, and quantitative information for a simple project. We really see this investment in a free online tool as digital transformation. At the moment, a lot of our customers who are looking to do simple work are not willing to move into a BIM space because it would require a huge amount of investment in training and software, and what they're doing is incredibly simple. So by creating this tool, we're able to give them the equipment and the solution that they need to become digitally enabled, but without having that pressure of software purchasing, training, or heavy investment in one software solution or another. Working with this tool means that we're able to provide quotes for simple projects in around 20 minutes, which previously would take around a week. And that transition from 1 week to 20 minutes is such a huge gain for all of our customers. It means that it's really valuable to invest in this kind of solution. We develop BIM models for our complex solutions. You can see the center image is a tunnel formwork. I've got a little animation to show just at the end of this talk, which details the formwork that we produced. And working that formwork through with the customer, developing a solution in 3D, saved them approximately 10 days across the project on the cycles that they were performing as they moved this formwork. It made them more effective, more efficient, and they were incredibly impressed as a customer with the saving. That's Warrington project in the UK. And then finally, we also have immersive technology. So we are producing 3D models and very detailed 3D models for customers. Immersive technology enables us to get these 3D models out to customers in a way which they can manipulate them and use them on an app or on a phone. Again, it's a completely free software. And this is where we're saying, if we have a 3D model, if we're working together and we're producing these, we should then take them out to customers because it adds significantly more value when you get further applications of them. The immersive technology app that Perry have is called Perry XR, and again I can share some links to that if anyone's interested. Each of these investments, each of these solutions that we develop are focused on saving time, making efficiencies, and making sure that any of the work that we're doing is having the biggest impact possible. I'll just play through this simple animation of that tunnel just to finish my talk. You can see the level of detail that we're able to go to with the 3D models, and running through this kind of simulation and presentation with customers means that we're able to do some really key things like enhance communication, reduce risk on site, and really get customers engaged and excited about working in 3D and working digitally. Like I said, working in this way on this project saved around 10 days on this cycle. The final project is shown there, so you can see the similarities between what we were producing and the final solution. So I'll just end reiterating our focus, so engaging customers, innovating, developing solutions, and to make sure that we're championing digital services throughout. Challenge when we apply BIM in order to get real world value, and be bold is probably my final comment. So what we can achieve is fantastic, and when it works, it gives us a real glimpse of the future. Thank you very much for your time.